Hello, fourth graders. Mrs. Hales here with your next art lesson. Today we're going to read a book called The Umbrella Queen. I'm going to read the book to you and you're going to follow along. And then we're going to make umbrella color wheels. The Umbrella Queen by Sharon Yim Bridges. Illustrations by Tae-Yun Yu. For Mom, who always read to us, and for Dad, who always read The Shy Bear. High in the hills of Thailand, there is a village where everyone does the same thing the people in the village have been doing for hundreds of years, making umbrellas. Big umbrellas, small umbrellas, paper umbrellas, silk umbrellas, red, blue, yellow, pink, green umbrellas. All of them painted with flowers and butterflies by the women and girls of the village. Every New Year's Day, the woman who has painted the most beautiful umbrella is chosen as the Umbrella Queen. And she leads all the villagers in a big umbrella parade. A little girl named Newt took part in these parades, walking behind the older girls who were proudly carrying the umbrellas that they had painted. How Newt wished she had an umbrella of her own. "When can I paint the umbrellas?" she asked her mother. Newt already knew how the umbrellas were made. She'd watched her father fit thin strips of wood and bamboo together to make the umbrella frames. She'd helped her grandmother make the paper that was used to cover the umbrellas. But what Newt wanted to do was what her mother did. She wanted to paint umbrellas. "Please let me try painting. I promise I'll be careful," said Newt. Newt's mother was working in the garden. Freshly painted umbrellas were propped open around her like huge flowers. "Very well, Newt," her mother said, giving Newt an umbrella. "Paint on your umbrella what I'm painting on mine." Newt's mother painted a flower. Newt painted a flower. Newt's mother painted some leaves and vines. Newt painted leaves and vines carefully. Newt's mother painted 2 butterflies fluttering around the flowers. Newt painted 2 butterflies fluttering around the flowers. "That's very good, Newt," said her mother, impressed. "Let's show Fa our umbrellas." They put the 2 umbrellas in front of Newt's father. Newt's grandmother joined them. They all looked from one umbrella to the other. "Why, you can hardly tell the difference," Newt's grandmother said. Newt's father gave his daughter a big hug. "With a little practice, Newt, you'll be a great umbrella painter." The next day, Newt's mother gave her 5 umbrellas that were ready to be painted. "Here's a finished one, Newt, so you will remember what to paint," said her mother. Then Grandmother gave Newt her very own special set of paints and brushes. Finally, her father helped her carry all of her things to a spot she picked out in the corner of the garden. Newt sat in the sunshine and started to paint. First she painted the butterflies. Then she was going to paint the flowers, leaves, and vines, but something made her change her mind. She painted an elephant chasing the butterflies instead. Around the rim of the umbrella, the little elephant chased butterflies. On her second umbrella, the butterflies had flown away. Instead, the little elephant, left alone, was practicing handstands. He did a handstand, and then he fell down. And then he got up and he tried again. On Newt's third umbrella, the little elephant was joined by another. 2 elephants ran around and around, squirting each other with water through their trunks. On the 4th umbrella, a whole string of elephants walked happily, trunk to tail. On the last umbrella, the elephants had fun just being silly. "What are you doing?" asked Newt's mother, not very pleased. "You're supposed to be painting flowers and butterflies." Newt smiled. "But I like elephants," she said. "I'm sorry, Newt," said her father, "but you must paint flowers and butterflies." "Yes, Fa," said Newt, trying to hide her disappointment. She knew that all the umbrellas her family made were sold in the village council shop, which sold nothing but flower and butterfly umbrellas. Painting umbrellas wasn't just for fun. It was work, and it helped feed the family. So every day for the rest of the year, Newt worked hard painting flowers and butterflies. In the evening, when the air rang with the laughter of other children playing hide and seek in the street, Newt gathered up leftover scraps of bamboo and mulberry paper and made tiny, doll-sized umbrellas. These umbrellas she painted with elephants and arranged proudly on her windowsill. Before long, it was time to prepare for the New Year's celebrations, including the umbrella parade. For the first time that anyone could remember, the king was going to be spending the New Year holiday in his winter palace nearby. The village council had taken the bold step of inviting the king to come to the village to choose this year's umbrella queen. Every day, all day long, the women laughed and chatted while they worked in their gardens. They talked about whether the king would accept the invitation. Every evening, the men gathered under the big tree in the middle of the village and talked about the same thing. Then one morning, 2 weeks before New Year's Day, the noise outside Newt's window woke her up. The whole village was shouting, laughing, and calling out to one another. Newt scrambled out of bed to see what was going on. She could hardly believe it. The king had written to say he was coming to choose the umbrella queen. On the big day, all the families gave their houses a final cleaning and laid their best umbrellas out by their gates, open so that the painted flowers and butterflies faced the road. The king and the village councilors walked down the road, inspecting the umbrellas one by one. Finally, the king stopped in front of Newt's house. He looked carefully at the umbrellas by the gate. "These are very beautiful umbrellas," he said to Newt's mother, who bowed deeply but kept her eyes respectfully cast down towards the ground. The king looked down the road to make sure that this was the last house. All the villagers had now gathered a respectful distance behind him. Turning to them and smiling, he straightened his back to make his announcement. But as he did, something caught his eye. "What are those?" he asked, and stepped forward to take a closer look. Newt's mother almost fainted to see the king peering through a window into her house. "Who painted these strange little umbrellas?" asked the king. A murmur went through the crowd as they noticed the tiny umbrellas clustered along the windowsill. "Look!" exclaimed the king. "Why, they're covered with tiny little elephants." "Did you paint these umbrellas?" the king asked Newt, guessing from her red ears that she had. "Yes, your majesty," replied Newt, bowing deeply. "What is your name?" "Newt, your majesty." "Why such tiny umbrellas?" "Well, the big umbrellas are only for flowers and butterflies," replied Newt, keeping her eyes down. Said the king. "And what's wrong with flowers and butterflies?" "Why did you need to paint elephants?" "Well," Newt stuttered, wondering how she could explain herself. She frowned and forgot to keep her eyes on the ground. She looked straight up and was surprised to see the king's friendly smile. "I like elephants," she said. The king laughed. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said kindly, taking Newt's hand and turning around to address the rest of the villagers, "because she paints from her heart, I'm choosing Newt as this year's umbrella queen." The end. Now it's your turn to get started drawing your own umbrella color wheel with a person holding it. Supplies you will need include white paper, 9 by 12 inches, a pencil, and some crayons. First, you're going to draw a very faint guideline halfway through your paper. You're going to be working on the top half of your paper. And your paper is vertical, so it's tall and skinny. You're going to draw a circle on the top half of the paper about the size of your hand. It doesn't have to be exact. Then you're going to divide this circle in half because we want to divide our umbrella or our circle into 6 equal parts. The best way to do this is to divide it in half and then divide each half, the top half and the bottom half, into 3 equal pieces of pie or 3 equal parts. I'm coming along here now and I'm making my umbrella or my circle a little bit less round, and I'm kind of straightening out my umbrella shape so it's a little bit more like a hexagon, a 6-sided shape. Now I'm going to draw lines connecting my dots to the center of my umbrella. Notice that each piece of pie is not exactly the same size, or each section of my hexagon is not exactly the same size, and that's okay. Underneath the umbrella, about halfway down my paper, I'm going to draw a raincoat. And that's like the bottom part of a triangle sticking out from under the umbrella. Next, I'm going to draw the legs. And I had a little bit of trouble getting my legs to be the right angle. You want your legs to be bigger at the top and a little bit smaller as they get down towards the ankle. Now I'm going to draw the top of my boots. The top of your boot goes around your leg. So it looks like a C laying down on its back. And that's going to go around each of your legs. The leg on the right is in front of the back leg. So you can see the whole boot. The back leg, you can only see part of the boot. You can't see the toe because the right leg is closer to us, the viewer. You can leave your legs like they are, or you can give your person shorts, or you can give your person a skirt. To give your person shorts, again, you can see most of the shorts on the right leg closer to the viewer, and you can only see half of the shorts on the back leg. If you want to give your person a dress or a skirt, you're just going to draw another partial triangle, the bottom part of a triangle coming out from the jacket. If you want to put a wavy line on the bottom of the skirt, you can do that. I'm just neatening up my lines now. Now it's time to color our color wheel. Our color wheel, or our hexagons, only have 6 sections. They have primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, and in between those colors, we have the secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. I tend to get lost in my coloring, so I put a little R beside the part I wanted red, an O beside the part I wanted orange, a Y beside the section I wanted yellow, and same thing for green, blue, and purple. Then I colored my raincoat yellow, my dress mint green, my tights black, and my boots red. I had fun adding a puddle and some raindrops. If you'd like to outline your work, you can do that as well.
Do you remember your art teacher talking about the elements of art last year? The what, Miss Hales? The elements of art. Line, color, shape, form, space, value, and texture. These elements of art give us vocabulary words that we can use to describe or talk about works of art. I think of the elements of art as being like the ingredients in a cake. Which of the elements of art do you think we use today in our umbrella color wheel project? I think we used color, line, and shape. Remember to save your umbrella color wheels. We're going to use them for reference throughout the year. Boys and girls, clean up your crayons and your pencil and your work area when you're finished with your art project. I'll see you next time.